Good. Okay, so we're starting a little early today. I apologize for those of you that usually hang out with me on my usual hour, but it is sweltering hot here already. It's only a little bit before 7, and I'm already like melting. So I didn't want to wait longer than I needed to because it's just going to get warmer and warmer for today. It's been a bad week for that, so apologies for those that would prefer to join me at the usual hour. It's not anything personal, it's just me trying to stay from passing, passing out from the heat. Also, apologies for last week. It was kind of unexpected. We got a few days' notice that our ISP was going to be going under some kind of a maintenance. I don't know what exactly they were supposed to be doing, either speeding things up or just regular maintenance or what, but they were off and on through the whole week. And it was hard to predict when I would be able to get online because sometimes it would go down for like a half hour, sometimes it'd go down for like 4 hours. So it was too much of an iffy to be able to do a broadcast last week. So apologies on that as well. But we're back today and we're going to be picking up where we left off. So we are on NA side this morning. Going to be doing some tours on Entity. I'd only planned for one because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to handle sitting up here for this long or for that long. But I got two in order in the lineup for today in case I feel like going ahead and doing a second one. But for one for sure. Before we get started though, just a quick reminder, we do have the maintenance for today. That is at the usual hour, 4 a.m. PDT, 1 p.m. CEST time, and it's only supposed to last about an hour. As well, don't forget this month has been the Starfall event, and this we are coming up on the last week of that, which will be heralding the double XP explosion event this weekend. So if you have some alts or things that you want to kind of level up and stuff, this is your chance to do so. And of course, be sure and log in for the week coming up so that you get the last little packet award. I forget what it is. It's a couple of, I don't know, disco ball and a couple of other things. But yeah, there is that. Okay, so we are here at the Mystery Shack. This is Mayor Desmoose's alt, Grunkle Moose. This, if any of you are not familiar with it, and I'm not really too familiar with it myself, I only kind of came across it from my experience from Jabbit's side of things. But this is a build based off of the, I don't know, animated cartoon series or whatever called, I guess it's Gravity Falls. And in it is something called the Mystery Shack, and apparently it's a very iconic part of the show. And I just want to mention that there is one on Java's side. It's located on Grunkle's stand, but it's Grunkle with a C instead of a K. So if you want to check that out on Jabbit, we toured it, I think it was February of last year for Jabbit side. So it's been a while. I'm not even positive it's still there. I didn't think to check this morning to confirm that, but there is a video up for it. So if you want to check it out and kind of compare how two individuals interpret the same theme. We've had, you know, multiple themes of other games and shows and movies and stuff. So it's always fun to see how similar yet different they are in comparison to one another. So just a heads up, if you like this one, you might also like Grunkle Stan's version of it. Just remember it's Grunkle with a C instead of a K. So this is Grunkle Moose's plot on NA Entity side. Again, I'm not really familiar with the show, so I can't tell you how close it is. It looks similar to the one that was on Jabbit, like with the S having fallen off of the shack part of the sign. and stuff, but as far as how detailed and accurate it is, I couldn't honestly say because I'm not really familiar with the show. Um, so we're going to walk around on the outside first just to see. If I remember right, there wasn't much on Javits either, but you never know. Some of them might take it a little bit further. You can see that they're using the upside down snowy hills rather enlarged to get these slopes. And that's why you get a little bit of a raised bit as you go out into the horizon. I think they really wanted to stress that this is like a large parcel of land here. It did have a few fab kits. I don't think the one on Javet had any built in. Kind of steering clear to the house because I want to just get an overall view of the property first. You can see most of it is pine trees. They've got the gnarled root from Celestion there. A couple of other like I don't know, rooty trees or whatever. They've got the brambles as well for like little clusters of a forest. Okay, it doesn't look like there's like any like what I would call Easter eggs, like little bits of extra something that some builders like to snuggle into little outcroppings that you might not normally visit unless you're really being thorough. Now, I honestly don't know which side is the actual front door to this thing. You see there's a door here and there's one over there. I, I have no idea, so I'm just going to go in this one. And but first, let's talk about the house itself. You can see it's comprised mostly of 2x4s, some with the metal edging to make it look like the beams, I guess, for the construction there. There's exile floors as well. For a lot of the porch parts, it's the decking pieces. And I guess to make it look like corrugated roof or that tin roofing, it's the Chua floors. Same way with the sign. Got the decking. The sign letters, I believe, are the metal planks, whereas this one is the edges of the neon sign, the one that has the star, the beer star sign. I don't know the exact name, but there you go. If you hear some like buzzing, that's probably my fan. I had to put up a fan because it was, like I said, it's like balmy in here. It's like a sauna. So I put up a fan. I don't know if it's actually uh, being picked up by the microphone or not. So apologies if it's a little blurred or muffled or whatever you want to call it. Again, decking pieces. Got the flower garden fab kit here. Another neon sign. It's the octopus one, but just pushed in so you just see the triangle part. Again, 2x4s, exile triangle. Now, I don't have any idea what this is. I guess it's just a sign. Okay, parking sign, free parking. Looks like, again, the metal planks for the lettering. So notice, again, it's always an issue with signs and even buildings being kind of messed up a little bit due to the size and how the rendering works. You can see how it looks like free farking or farkine or just weird how they're all the same size basically, but some of the pieces disappear at a certain distance. Makes it tough for wide screenshots. I mean, you can't really read the sign anymore if you wanted to get a whole shot of the scenery back here, which is a shame, but that's just how it is. Um, some pieces work differently, and then they look the same size and they show up much better. It's just a kind of a trial and error thing to find out what works and what doesn't. I'm sure they chose the metal planks for the lettering here, just like they did for the store letters, even though up here they probably work better because they're larger. But there you go. Nice little sign, little arrow. I don't know what these are for. I don't know if this is supposed to be like an auction house kind of thing set up. It looks like a little podium here. Again, 2x4s. We've seen various ones, especially like in churches. They like to use those for the uh, the book. And this one's pretty nice. It's some decking pieces, a part of it, and then 2x4s. Very simple but nice. I guess we'll just go inside. Apologies for those of you that are fans of this show and know more about what this actually is. I assume this is some kind of like a tourist trap kind of thing. It's like a souvenir shop. That's what it looks like to me in the pictures I've seen, and just looking at how people have built it in the game. So that's what I think it is. I don't know if it's also like a secret something. I have no idea. I don't know anything about the story of the show. So um, this little podium here, that's just a couple of pillars. Same way here. I take it it's like some kind of like mishmash of collectibles, and they sell it or acquire it. I have no idea. Okay, let's go this way first. I think this leads to the back porch. Yeah. There's the restroom. Little office. I'm sure it's a certain character's office, but again, I'm not familiar with the show, so I couldn't possibly tell you whose it's supposed to be. It's like a little storeroom. Notice the spooky eyes in the box. That's the, I think it's the eye splatter or whatever. It's the one that looks like, we usually turn it upside down, it looks like spilled Kool-Aid or something. They got a couple of those in there. It makes it kind of extra creepy. I like this, the aquarium. It's basically one of the bookshelves. I think it's the Exile one. And then they've just covered up bits of it with Draken floor, and then you've got the 2x4s, the metal edged ones. And then for the doors themselves is some of the hover part panels. And then I think it's bottle tops for the handles. I've seen people use bottle tops, the bottoms of glasses or mugs, like the Chua cup and stuff. They work just as well. Some of the things I usually say about the cabinets and stuff, it's really nice and more recognizable um, if you have them contrast nicely. Don't have like a dark handled item on a dark wood or metal or whatever, because then you don't see it as well. This contrasts nicely. tops. Notice again, it's the illusion that there's water because there's a little bit of movement on some of the plants that are in it. But it's not completely necessary. I think most folks would recognize this as an aquarium of some sort. And I'm not sure, I guess this is something that's in the show itself. I don't know if this is meant to be like a window and then it's like this is the outside that you can see through the window. But I still thought it was kind of cute. And of course, I don't know what the H stands for or anything like that. I believe this is the other entrance. About here so we can see. Yeah, this is more the gift shop area. I like the little ice box here. I think that's what this is. It's usually not a gas station, a convenience store. You have the little ice container outside. Again, it looks like bottle tops, and then just one orange floor, and then probably a 2x4 for the seam, in combination with the cellar entrance. And there you have a nice little ice cabinet. You could probably get fancier and have just some layered glass, like blue layered glass, to give it that little frosty bit, and then have some shelves and then like ice cubes and stuff, or icicles or glacier pieces if you wanted to look more frosty, but this works too. I think it's a lot simpler this way. So here's like the little gift shop. So this is like the ice cream container where you get your frozen goods. They got the little banana there. It's made out of graded floor panels. The counter is mostly 2x4s, a little bit of glass panels and floors for some of the shelves part. The register, we've seen a few of these different versions. This one's a pretty nice and simple, but you know what it is. It's looks like the fancy Dominion dresser and then a magnetized container for where the cash box comes out of. The little pedestal here, that's just an upside down empty trophy cabinet. Um, and they're just using the very bottom of it, so the rest of it's sunk down into the floor. The magazine rack is another nice one. Great display type of case or panel or whatever you want to call it for those that have maybe a clothing shop. It'd work okay for uh, not just books, but other things like we've seen some where like they had a cigarette stand and some other things. You could make it deeper and have these shelves come out a little further if you want to have something like a fruit stall or something that would work. But this is a great way to show off your posters, having some kind of a magazine rack. But again, it's just 2x4s, metal edge 2x4s, all the way around. For the little hat rack, it's just 2x4 and then pillars for the little hooky doohickey things. Again, pillar for the pedestal, and then it looks like one of the hanging exile lamps. It's the green one with the long chain on it, and they're using it as kind of like an underlighting for this. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I know there's a room here. We'll get to that in a bit. I think that's what leads down to the bunker house. I think this is another exit. Yeah, this is the back porch where the barbecue grill is. The Barbie and the cooler and stuff that comes from the summer decor pack. Same way with the drinks here. If you see those with the fruit in them, that's what that's from. A little bit of a kitchen area. The refrigerator's just a couple of airtight containers with hammers for the handle. Up. A little bedroom. I love the, I assume this is like a closet or of some sort, or maybe it's supposed to be a doorway to a balcony outside. I didn't really notice if it had one, but it's just a faux door. It's a couple of the wooden dividers. Like, I don't know if it's honey or what, but there it is. Again, bottle tops for the handles. And 2x4s for the trim. Hey Bones, good morning. I like how they're using all the little spaces. Again, maybe it matches perfectly with the show or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, Bones was an early start today. It's super warm here, and the longer I wait, the hotter it's going to be. So until we have a cool front come in, I'm going to be burning up upstairs. The heat just seems to collect right in this room, and it feels like a sauna already. I'm like sticky and gross. I got my fan going, and all the curtains are down so that the sun, because the sun comes up and it's directly aims into this room, and it just heats it up. And the longer the day goes, the worse it is, and it's just awful. So yeah, I haven't been spending much time upstairs through the week. Of course, last week was mostly because we didn't have internet for a while, but this week it's way too warm. Okay, so again, I don't know whose bedroom this is supposed to be. It looks like a shared room. You know, maybe it's evil twins or something. I have no idea. I like the little window up here where it's got the handles where you could open that. And of course, the little arcade game that come from a special event where you could collect those. I don't remember exactly what that was, but okay. How did I get up here? Right, stairway. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the stairs are just regular staircases with the landing, staircase landings. Now, you'll notice that they left it open so you can actually see down below. Um, that's fine, but I also know that a lot of builders like to add in an extra layer, like some floor panel or something underneath to block your view so you don't see what's down below, because often there's like things sticking out that they don't want you to actually see. And it makes it look a little bit cleaner. Like you can see like some kind of creepy thing down here. Maybe that's on purpose, but just thought I'd mention that. Okay, so now where's that other? I think we haven't been in here. Yeah, see, this is like some kind of weird ritual thing, and that's one of those eye splotches, but they have it upside down, so you don't see the eyeball. It just looks like purple goo. But again, I have no idea what this represents, because I have I am not familiar at all with the show. Okay, where am I? Let's see. Here? No, I'm completely lost. I know there's another room. Let me just find it, maybe. Okay, here? Yeah, here we go. And this takes you to the bunker house, which I believe, if I remember correctly, was some kind of underground lab kind of thing going on. And yes, Bones, I have like tons of windows. This is like all windows. And I usually keep the shades down and stuff, but they're like see-through shades. They're not actual curtain, kind of like thick, dark colored curtains. So the sun just comes right in and just cooks you up here. It's awful. I tell my husband if we ever get another house or have this one rebuilt, I'm getting like uh, the central heat and air. I'm gonna have air conditioning because it's just awful. I believe it's called Gravity Falls. It's some kind of an animated cartoon show thingy. I don't know if it's on like Netflix or what. I really don't know. It's something we've seen on Jabbit before. It's on, I think the name of it is Grunkle Stan, but it's Grunkle with a C. And this one is Grunkle Moose with a K. So, um, we toured the other one back in February. So if you want to compare, I haven't been back to it. I didn't check it this morning to see if it's still there. I assume it is. But it would be fun to kind of compare the two places to see just the differences. Because I'm sure there's a lot of similarities, especially like the Mystery Shack sign on the outside of the house, having the S broken off and everything. Yeah, I haven't seen it either. It's, I guess it's not something that they show over here, or I just am out of the loop or whatever, I don't know. But here's a lovely little panel. It's got a lot of little doodads. There's these bits here, the little dials. These come from I think it's the rusty fuel pump. It's like that big red, rounded, like looks like an old-fashioned gas pump. I think these parts here are some of the fireworks. Like this is the one with the red tip on it, and then these are the blue ones. Same way with these here, these are the tops of them. Excuse me. And then these parts here, I think, are part of, I want to say this one and these two come, and maybe even these buttons here, come from I think it's the Exile tactical table. It's like that big green, like squishy thing with the hooky feet. I'm like getting really technical here, but you know what I'm talking about. And then this is one of the new Macari pieces. I think it's the Macari table that's got this little doohickey on. This part here is from one of the Space Chase events, actual event. Again, more fireworks for these buttons here. And of course, this is like a Chua tape. I think it's a Chua desk. And then this is that same pump there, just bigger. And then you've got, this is that television. It's not called a television. I forget what it's called. I don't know, modular something or whatever. You've got one of the Soul Frost panels there. Red Moon vent here. More rocket pieces for the red buttons. I don't know what they're using for the glowy parts here. I think it's one of the control panels, but I'm not for positive on that. It's really glowy blue, so I'm not sure. Again, rusty fuel pump. You've got the Exile sign here. And then look at all these little switches. They've just got lots of the lever switches. Again, whoops, fireworks for all the different button colors and stuff. It's really clever. It's just hard, especially if you're kind of limited on decor space. It gets these all these little buttons and gadgets to really eat up your decor count. Um, Probably one of the reasons why they can get away with doing it here in the bunker house, because I, I think it takes uh, a lot of detail to kind of eat up the decor count on the interior than it does on the exterior, and we've discussed that before. So this part here, that's just some hover part pieces, and you got some metal edge 2x4s and then hammers for the handles. So it's like a, I don't know, maybe it slides open to something, or it opens up, you know, you pull it out. I don't know. Yeah, see this part here? That's what this is here. Same piece. And then I have no idea what this is supposed to be. It looks like some kind of like Stargate thingy where they're zapping instead of going through a tubey thing. Hey Poi, good morning. Yes, early start. Sorry. We started about half an hour ago, so you haven't missed too much. It's, as I was trying to explain again to Bones, it is like super warm here, and the longer I wait, the harder it's going to be, and I don't want to be like melting into a puddle of goo on stream, so I decided to get an early start. Just trying to stay hydrated and everything. It's awful here, and it's barely 7:30, and it's already muggy and everything. It's disgusting. Anyway, they're using the lightning strikes. Those are the ones you get from the Grand, no, it's called the Z-Pre Invitational, I think. The little hoverboard racing. Really easy to get. I've got multiples. I don't use them, but the portable planters for the top and bottom of these, whatever they are. I don't know what this little emblem is supposed to be, but it was a really important feature because I remember it on the other plot as well. But it looks like bottle tops for these little rivets. Um, that weird little planet thing, which it looks like they've color shifted it to a black and white. And then the technophage door, the round door. Again, I have no idea the purpose or anything of this particular little setup, but there you go. A great reference for anyone looking to do any kind of lab works or some kind of a station for, like, if they want to put in an underground subway or some kind of military facility. This is a great little setup with all of these buttons and gadgets and things. I'm sure they could use some inspiration from that. So well done on that. So I think that's it for the Mystery Shack belonging to Grunkle Moose. That's Grunkle with a K. Again, if you want to see the Jabbit version, you'll need to visit Grunkle Stan, but that's Grunkle with the C. If it happens to not be there anymore, which is always a possibility, you can still check out the video. We did a tour of it. I think it's February something-ish of last year. So it's a pretty old video, but again, I like touring these places and kind of preserving it on YouTube and everything, because it's often that the builders will go ahead and scrap a project so that they can build something new, and it's kind of saved for posterity's sake, you know, like a little memento of what the plot used to look like. So if it happens not to be there, you can always check it out on YouTube in my videos. Just check, I think it's, I want to say it's February, I mean, I don't know if I wrote it down or not. February 17th, I think, is the episode you'd have to check out. 2016, last year. Okay, so I'm still feeling warm, but it's not as bad as I was worrying it would be. So I guess we'll go ahead and visit a second home, and that will be it for today. So we're heading over to Monton Darktail. I think that's how you say it. I'm really bad with pronunciation. Ani had to correct me on there, so I kept saying Ayuni, and it's Ani apparently. Um, this is Darktail Manor, and I think you guys will really like this one as well. Got a little bit of weaponry for unwanted guests. Just different rocks for this little pedestal for the hugel there. And using hugel ore and windows for the hugel eyes. We've seen them with the orange ones. Some of them like to, especially if it's a creepy plot, they like to use the uh, spooky eyes, the ones you get from Shades Eve. Notice they're able to block this in with the Glarus stone walls. But they didn't like make an effort to really cover this up, which is not necessary. I think it just depends on preferences of builders on how far they take it. But being able to wall it in like this helps hide it. So it's another way of disguising it, sort of. So before we go into the main house, we're just going to go around the property on the outside and see what all is there. You can see they're using some of those gray stones for stepping stones. I don't know if it's the ones that have snow on them, because they look a little round, and I'm pretty sure the regular gray stones are more like uh, teardrop shaped. So I suspect it's either uh, the stepping stones from Starcom, and they've just lowered it so you only see a single one, or it's the bottom of one of the snow covered ones, and they've got it using that. So here we have a little, I'm not sure what this is supposed to be, some kind of like a little outpost. You've got a shower system set up here. The shower heads are basically just the ends of the garden hoses, and then the drains are the red moon vents. Then you've got little bunkers for whoever happens to be staying here. And then, I don't know, this kind of reminds me of some of the little outposts where you like pick up your quests, talk to the guy, and find out what you're supposed to do. But they went through a lot of trouble to set it up. You've got like the curved glass, the tubes. I don't even know what all's down here. Lots of wires and cables and things to make it look professional. Again, same way with this. I have no idea what all that is. I like this though. This is a pretty simple little thing. It's just a cushioned seat. It's basically some cylinder pieces, or it could be a dome, a couple of domes, and then sunk down, and then the pillow sunk down inside it. It makes like a little cushion chair. The building itself is mostly a combination of Cassian floors, Oran walls, and then of course pillars accent some of it up. This here, with this edging, that's just the edge of one of the walls. And then they've topped it with grass. It's almost like a hobbit house, sort of. It's not curvy like a hobbit house, but close. Over here we have the little station where I guess visitors would come, land their ship, get it fueled up, and then take off again. Maybe it's their version of a taxi. Again, you can see they've played around with some of the color shifting here and there. This, I think, is one of the tanks, and they just popped it down there. This over here, again, that's those fuel pumps that we saw in the previous home. The wall-mounted generator, some tubes. Just some storage down here, I guess. Something to kind of fill up the space. I don't think there's anything in the ship. Sometimes you'll see folks will add some extra little details, but yeah, I don't think you can go up inside it. I like the detail. I mean, all these like wooden planks, and this one's leaning to the side, and you got the brick pile and everything. Just little things like that helps flesh out a plot nicely. Here we have a little pond kind of deal. It's basically just multiples of the winding rivers. I mean, you can see how it's kind of patchwork together. It's unfortunate that you can't get around that, but that's the only way you can fill in strange shapes like this. But it works really nicely. I'm sure there are others that would try and use the newer waterfalls with the actual like animated poofy stuff at the bottom. Um, if you don't want the movement and in addition to the sound that comes with it, uh, there are other ways to make water that you could use. Like for instance, I've seen people use the walls here as water with glass layered up above it. That's perfectly fine too. I think the layered glass would show up more with seams and stuff. Again, this is kind of an odd shape to try and fill up, so that I think they've done a decent job considering the pieces that we have available to us. And of course, they're using the golden lop as the little statue here, and then it's just multiples of the cylinders here to make this little tiered place for it. For the walls and the steps, I want to say these are edges of like some of the fencing, but I'm really not sure if it's the Galeras stone walls or something else. But I think this is what they're using for the steps and everything, all this trim. I want to say it's like the bottom of this bit, but I can't say for sure. The waterfall feature here is basically just the gray stones and then the different kinds of waterfalls plus uh, the winding rivers for the base, much like over here. The added little bit here, I think this animation, this blue part, is one of the uh, Shades Eve bits. It's one of those that can be haunted. It's usually like the wig on a stick or the top hat on a stick. Yeah, it's like haunted decor. That haunted part is what gives it that smoky, almost frosty look. Others tend to prefer the buoyant blue crystal. If you hide the crystal part, then you get those. It's the one that has the misty, almost like will-o-wisp little animation, like little blue sparkles coming off of it. A lot of people like that too, to kind of simulate that little splash of water from the waterfall coming into the base of the little pond here. Obviously, if you have access to the newer version of the waterfalls that you get from the cash shop, you know, that would probably be the preferred. But if this was built up before those became available, as much of our water features were, um, I think most builders found it more difficult to uh, upgrade to the newer versions because then there had to be a lot of shifting of like the stones and stuff would have to be moved to adjust for the heights and the spacing and everything. I think most have found that it's probably just easier to add those to newer plots that you're building from scratch rather than trying to upgrade an older one. again, uh, just little cylinders for these. Just notice they're different ones. Like I think this is like probably an exile version to give that brown wood. Just little accents like that. Now the dirt here, it seems to be one of those upside down what do you call it? The tree one, the upside down massive umbrella tree. I am not for positive on that. I think most would probably prefer, especially since it's round, to just maybe use the upside down snowy hill, and that'll give you the dirt look and much cheaper that way as well. Okay, a lot of this decor, like the flowers, the vines, I think these are all the fence pieces, but the flowers for sure, the archway, and these straight picket fences, those are from the spring decor pack. Notice how they're, again, because this is smooth ground here with no clutter, being able to fill in the plants on the side, it helps accent or uh, emphasize the path here. Yes, they have the walking stones too, but even if those weren't there, it would be clearly that this is a path that you would walk. So here's a little Oran themey kind of, what do you call it? My words are just flying out. I want to say pagoda, but that's not right. Gazebo kind of thing. There we go. It's basically a dome, pillars. We've got a little bit of the Oran fence posts for accents, and then either domes or cylinders for the base, and then the staircase as well. Then here is cylinder, and then it's got one of the tree tables sunk in. Over here we have a little stage and seating area. It's just two of pillows, some of them sitting down into the floor a little more than the others. And then the stage is a dome, another dome on top. It helps hide the back casing of the spotlight for one. And more domes or cylinders for the base of that. For the little candle bits or the lantern things, it's just the metal dividers, the ones that a lot of people like to use for the Asian bit. Really clever, much fewer pieces. I've made similar lamps, but I made mine super complicated. But this is a nice, simple way of doing it. It's just a candle set inside a set of 4 of these, and they've got them lining this whole area here. Great for like a restaurant, having those in the center of a table or something, make it like nice. Again, the water is just multiples of the winding rivers. The walkway is decking pieces accented with pillars. And then again, one of the tough things if you're trying to represent something that's broken or crashed, it's a little tougher to do, but they've done a good job here of kind of breaking up this little walkway as if it's been destroyed by the water or a storm or something. I don't know if there's anything back here. I'm just checking it out. Yeah, looks like there's a cave. Seem to have happened upon some kind of strange labby thing. I'm gonna get lost in here, I have a feeling. Strange little shelf, 2x4s, and a floor. This here, that's one of those blue flares. The main problem with it is this bright light here. It shows up even if it's behind something. So, okay, I think I'm inside the house now. So let me go back this way. I don't want to spoil the whole deal just yet. I like how they got it set up as if this can be closed. Notice the detonators here. That's those lights that we like to use for like signs and things. Strange little, see, this is what I'm talking about, like little Easter eggs. If you kind of go through all the little nooks and crannies, you're bound to find something strange. Feels like part of a fab kit here, like the Hoogle, and they've just hidden it, parts of it, with something else. This is like a festival fab kit that they've nestled in here. The glowing light that's coming from these lop shrines. They give off a pretty strong glow. Looks like they got 3 of them here, so it's even brighter. Cute way of using the snow globe. We've seen some people actually give him like a hat and some arms and things. Yeah, I think a lot of them have been asking for that. Kind of like similar item like the ones in, where is that? Is it Blighthaven that has the globules? The ones where you actually have to swim and you like go through the rings or something. It's like little giant globs. That kind of dynamic. I mean, if they could do it with that, I would figure they could do it with, give us an item that does the same thing, and then you could just envelop the entire plot in that and then make it swimmable. Again, this is just a regular fountain, and they've added the winding rivers and the waterfalls to it to make it an actual working fountain. Now we're back outside. I'm trying to backtrack a little bit. Okay, so there's the little garden area where we just come from. These here, those are the tops of, I think it's the ornate orange pillar. It's just got that little bit of tree. It looks like a little vase with a tree part in it, but it's really the tip of that. And then they've covered up part of it with the cylinders there. And of course, using the Galeris stone wall for all of the little fencing around here. Got a little patio for some drinks. They gave the Draken statue here some googly eyes. He looks really disturbed with his gnome hat and everything. This here, the feeding trough, has a glass set inside it to make it look like there's water in it, like the bottom of one of the drinking glasses. And then over here, they have some faux houses. I love these. These definitely remind me of little hobbit homes. They've got sandbags for the roofing here, and then feeding troughs for the doorway, the little archway. These are the wooden crates, I think, like the top or bottom of it. Bottle tops for the handles. They even have little doorbells here. It's a cushion bar stool. And then the chewa stool. It's the bottom of the chewa stool, and then the bar stool on top of that to make it look like a little doorknob, like doorbell thing. But I thought that was cute, especially for someone that's trying to do like a faux town or something. That works really great. It's always interesting to see what people use as the doors, the handles, the archways, that kind of thing. And this works really nice. Now this here is the main house. It's I think it's the spacious Grannock one based on what it looks like, but you can see they've added to it. They've got some of those new hedges here. They've added some Oran windows. They've got some of the pillars as well, kind of deck it out a little extra. And it looks like they've even tacked on some walls to make it look like it's bigger than it actually is. Nice little, I love this part, just this little accent of like a roof to it. It just, I don't know, it looks kind of posh to me, like some kind of outdoor restaurant. That's how they would set it up. Look at the table. It's just 2x4s trimming the couple of Oran floors, same way here, and then 2x4s for the legs. Great use of the bridge here with the doors inside it. Nice way of doing this little bit here. I love this. It looks to be sandbags, but it could be, yeah, it's sandbags. So that just really nice. And managing to get, this elevated part. I guess I should have went all the way around up there. A little VIP seat, I guess. Some of the white curtains and stuff. Oran landing pad. Got a little dance floor here with the DJ. This here is, I think it's a combination of crates, detonators. You got the magnetized container, this flat metal table, and the speakers, of course. To the little eatery place here. Got a little bar, which is just a tiki bar with a window inset. Kind of finished off as a little table. And then again, similar table setup from the other one we saw earlier. 2x4s, rugs being used as like the table runners. Mostly decking pieces for the railings and everything. For the thatched roof, it's just the hay pile stuck on top. A lot of people like to use those for like little huts, for like their little native villages and stuff. Got a little exonite area, nice and bright. I don't recommend building with these particular blocks because of their brightness, although we have seen there was a, don't recall the name offhand, but there was like a church built out of it. Fantastic looking, but I imagine it probably led to some headaches because of constantly staring at it and having to adjust pieces. I don't think that would have been very pleasant. Most of these are the, I don't remember what they call them. It's from the Alpha Sanctum uh, dungeon or whatever. You complete it, you unlock one, and then you can buy the rest direct from the, it unlocks the rest of them on the housing vendor. Yes, that's exactly how you get to that place from the water. There's a lot going on out here, apparently. Again, these blue sparkly bits, it looks like almost a haze. Those are either coming from the long portable holograph thing or the upside down hovering medical cot. They have both have that type of glowy bits. A lot of people like to use it for their waterfalls and stuff. And yeah, it was kind of, like I said, I wouldn't have wanted to work with it myself, Bones, because it's just so bright. Most of this cave part is obsidian stone, just little trimmed bits. That's a magnetized container. And we're coming up on some crystal bits. Very purple. You want to do your houses by, theme colors. Okay, I think this is where we went in earlier. Yeah. Yeah, because that was the door that way. And now we're kind of in an Elden area. I couldn't tell you what all, it's like Elden tubes, and this is the one that it's like got the finger looking thing sticking out. I think Poi used it for a knife holder once. I couldn't tell you what all these pieces are. I like the glass here that helps with their layering, how they did it. It looks like water almost, but then they've got that clear bridge. So just a little touch of Elden here in this cavey part. Okay, back the way I came. Let's see. Notice all of the, a lot of people like using the mushrooms, the It's the white ones. But this one, they're preferring the glowing space sweet, which typically has that blue bulbous bottom to it, but they're just using the top so that you see the weedy part. And that's actually a far side item, but it works really good as a cave type of deal. Okay, so back to the boardwalk parts. Look at how complicated that is. It looks nice, but this a lot of pieces. So now they're using this little bit that's coming from a waterfall from above as like a little swimming pool area. So they've built in little benches that people can sit on. You've got the little domes or cylinders being used as the staircases. And they got some towels here, like a little sauna thing. There's the dance area we were at earlier. That's the top of the main house. Here's another outdoor barbecue. This is the little table version. They just enlarged it and made it into an outdoor barbecue. I think there used to be the version where you could actually use it as a crafting station, but I think they took that away, that functionality of it. Nice little bed, Orney bed area. It's just sleeping bags for this cushion here. Don't know if there's a way to get to the tip top of that or not. Let me see. Yeah, here's somebody's sleeping bag and little beer thing. That might be as high as I can get it because I don't see another outcropping. Close. No, it doesn't seem like I can get it. See, that's what I mean by if you kind of explore some of these, you might find little bits that've been dropped in there to make it a little interesting, like the sleeping bag. But a really nice little feature, all of these stones and how they've incorporated the staircases and stuff. Really makes it look fun. So again, some little individual homes, it looks like. I don't know, maybe this is something different. This looks like changing rooms. A little sitting space for the hot springs. So they've thrown in some towels. There's little sitting place with the drinks. This way. Now, if you're wondering about these curtains that I can pass through, those are I think it's called the Dagoon flag now, or Dagoon banner. It's one of those. It used to be a wolf banner, I think, and they changed the name of it. And this leads us back down to that area that we were at before. Uh, they have no collision. It's much like the hanging chains the sparking cables. A lot of the banners are that way. It's just some of the banners are a little problematic. Like the Merc banner, its wood pieces up at the top, so the banner hangs loose by itself. But some of the banners have like a stick right in the middle, so it makes it a little bit more tricky. You have to like really size them up to get it to work if you want part of the banner as a doorway bit. But like the sheets for the laundry lines, those are a fave. Um, Even the Chua portrait, the one that looks like a hologram version of it, if you enlarge that big enough, you can walk right through it. A lot of those items are favorites for doorways, where you don't want the doorway just completely open, but you want to have something there as if the person has to go through it. Like the hanging chains, a lot of people use that as like beaded curtains. They'll hang multiples of them, and then it looks like a beaded curtain kind of thing, that kind of deal. Okay, so I think that just leaves us with the main house. So we'll head inside there. We got a little bit of a security system. Some of this is detonators. This little railing here is the wooden fence, and then they've topped it with a 2x4. Lots of grass and shrubs to really naturefy this. That's probably not even a word, but there you go. Layered glass for this fancy little sliding glass door, or trim, or whatever you want to call it. You can see they're using both green and pink and white just to liven it up even that much more. Notice the purple splotches on the painting. Again, those are the eye splotches with it flipped so you don't see the eye, you just see the purple. Again, it's great for like spilled drinks or things like that. And with the color shifting ability, now you can kind of make it specific to you. If you want to do like a pink Slurpee or something, I'm sure you can get it to shift nicely for that. The table here is the feeding trough upside down, and then it's got the tree, the orange tree table sunk down inside it, so it looks like a doily on top of the table. I love this here. This is really nice and clever for like a little garden area. There's difference of cylinders and such, so you got these ringed little shelf things for the overgrowth. You've got the inset ones with it looks like upside down, what are those things called? The ones that I call chocolate, barnacle weeds, but it could be just color shifted stones for all I know. I couldn't say for sure. This looks like Draken walls because of the splotchy color of it. But it looks so cute, and all the different flowers and bushes and stuff to really dress it up a little bit. It's an odd little space. This is one way to treat it so that it looks like you meant it to be this way. The fireplace, again, we've seen tons of these, and it's always something different every time you come across a new one. The little wall shelves here, again, are domes and cylinder bits. The fireplace itself, though, is it looks to be like this part here. I suspect it's the back of a travel poster, and this part here with the edging, same way here, and then on the sides, those are just granite walls. You've got a chua shelf here with some chua pillars as accent. The fireplace itself is actually the bluish exile holographic fireplace. It's the one that I say typically if people are going to use it, they end up covering up all of that blue, and that's exactly what they've done here. They've left some of the parts actually exposed, like the tank on the side and these bits here. but they've nicely covered up most of the rest. You can see just a little bit sticking out here, but they've covered up that blue because I don't know, I think most of the time that blue color just does not match the rest of the interior decorating, so they tend to cover it up. We just don't see it too often as is. And of course they've put in some glass on the front to kind of cordon it off. They've even got a pillar here as a handle, as if they can just lift this up and have access to it. Really nicely done. Again, this table here is two of the trophy shelves. One is the empty and one is the full one. You get a difference, so like it's packed with stuff. They're just upside down and sunk down into the floor to make a nice little long table. They're hiding the seam with the rug on top. Hey Flood, good morning. Over here we have a lovely piano. It's one of Flowers, I believe. You can see her signature there. So I don't know if this is one of Flowers' alts and they installed the piano there as part of it, or if this is actually a piece that was either purchased or gifted to the owner of this particular plot. But you can always recognize Flowers' work because they do sign it with their name. The only unfortunate thing is you have to like zoom in before you can see it because again, it's the rendering issues with the pieces not showing up. But a lovely piano. It's books for the keys. You got the blue books and the yellow books. You got 2x4s making up the frame. Some of those ornate pillars or whatever for the little decoration here. This is, I think that's the most expensive part of the item because it's the Orin bed, and that's like, I don't know, 25,000 renowned to get that. The little, what's that called? Is that a metronome? Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. It's basically 2x4s slanted up to make this little pyramid shape, and then it's an upside down Orin clock for the little tick-tock thing. Really cute though. Spoon or some kind of silverware handles for the petals, and then a Google portrait for this little part here. I will eventually get around to touring Flowers' actual piano store where they have a bunch of them on display on one particular plot. I just haven't got around to it. Maybe next time I'll make a note for that. Here's what I was talking about, people covering up underneath the stairs. It helps just make it a little cleaner. It's all the main thing. So upstairs we go to another little garden area. Again, they're kind of mimicking what they did outside with the Galeras stone walls, fencing it in. Lots of grasses. Using, it looks like, again, the sandbags for a little bit of the earth, the ground. Notice they've got a fruit basket here. It's basically a fruit bowl inside, set inside a feeding trough, just to make it look a little different. Again, feeding trough, cylinders. Layered glass for this little terrarium kind of thing going on here. This is the brown table. It's the one with the really long legs that I can't stand, and they're using it as a little table. Just capped it with a cylinder there. Bedroom, home office type of deal. Notice the shower here. Again, it's the garden hose, and then they're using some of the tanks as the switchy things. Detonator for this part. The counter here is just the edge of, I think it's the wall, one of the walls. It's just enlarged to make this nice little ledge here. Notice the little dish of soap. It's just a green pillow. Simple as can be. If you're wondering about the rug, that's part of the summer decor pack. That's one of the beach towels. Again, notice how they've got this set up. They've got the door frame and everything. It looks similar. They're indicating this as being like the kiddie room, I think, but it's closed off. But they've got the doors set up the same. It's just the floor with a hammer for the handle, and they're matching it over here so you know that it's meant to, slide open. Here's where the color shifting shines. This is typically a white sheet. It's part of the laundry line, and they're using it as a purple curtain for the room. These vines, those come from the spring decor pack, if you're curious. This here, acting as a wall safe, that's just the ornate chest, or cabinet, or whatever they call it. This is a dome or cylinder, and then the little control panel on the outside. Again, some of these plants, like this potted plant here, that's from the spring decor pack, I believe. Again, great ideas for those little odd spaces that you might, when you're like divvying up a room or a building, and you come up with these little odd little pockets of space. This is a great idea for that, turning it into a small little scenery kind of thing, or this one in this case is a waterfall feature, or like the one earlier that we saw that was just like a terrarium part. Notice the floor here. They're using the color shifting to make it look like a little carpet area. Wow, it just keeps going, doesn't it? I guess this is a kiddie's room here. A great way for displaying your plushie collection. You've got the bed here on a raised bit. It's a combination of pillars. You see mattresses back here for that little padded headboard look. It's actually, it looks like it's two of the beds smushed together to make a really big one. I got a little small wall safe here using that faux granite hatch. Got their little computer desk, another little safe looking, well, no, I guess that's their hard drive for their computer. Wow, they really went all out on that one. So you've got the, looks like a detonator and probably some, I don't know what parts, little bits in there. Looks like a technophage piece at the back. Little cabinet here. It's just one of the floors with a staircase landing and then a bottom for the handle. Looks like your typical little bit for student desk kind of thing. Balconies, again, it's the fencing topped with the 2x4s. Here you have a faux door. It's part of I want to say it's the Hugel clock, not Hugel clock, the Oren clock. For this part here, and then some pillars, and then the um, Oren desk or table. I think it's the desk. The yellow one that's got the funky legs and it's got like a little drawer on the side. Using that. They even put a little keyhole. That's just the keyhole window. A little lock there, and then the bottle top for the handle. So multiple pieces just for a simple door. I mean, they even went and put the hinges, and those are just books, the spines of the books. That's detail there, going down to the hinges and stuff. And our favorite little item, the toilet, looks like one of the air conditioners for the back, some cylinders and domes for the base and bowl, and then a lid of a plate for the lid. I don't know what they're using for the little hatches here. The toilet paper dispenser is just one of those metal edge blocks, I think. I guess that's the air freshener. Another little, I don't know, medicine cabinet or something there. It's just domes or cylinders, the staircase landing, the bottle top, staircase landings for the tops of these. Again, I think it's the cuckoo clock thing for this part here. And then windows for the mirrors, topped with a little bit of greenery to give it some foreign feel to it. Really cute. A little stool that's actually really tall. The legs are a lot longer and they've just sunk it down so it looks like a short little stool. And then we've got the shower, which is, I presume, winding river here. This part, I assume it's I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's actually the sink thing. This deal here, I think, is what that is. It's just enlarged to be part of the tub. And then the faucet part, they've hidden part of it by topping it with the, I think it's the Oren pillar. There's two of them on the housing vendor. I don't even know what names they go under, but like one is 4 gold and the other one's a little bit of silver. There's like two versions. And then added a waterfall for the running water. Here you have like a little cabinet, floors, a table for this, and then more floors, and then 2x4s. Just an interesting little shelf cabinet thing. The towel racks are hammers. And again, you can see they've played around with some of the color shifting. Same way with the candles. That's one thing I like about those that use the color shifting. They don't do it to everything. They just throw it in here and there. Just a little bit, you know. So you see that they've used it, but it's not like everything is colored shifted, which I think would be a little overboard. Okay, let me just double check, make sure we went to all the rooms. Like this space, that's an odd space, but they turned it into that little terrarium thing, which works really nice. Okay, I think that's it. But look at how they got like 3 floors out of this, I think. Got this is the base, this is another floor, and then, okay, maybe not. Did I go down this one? No, I don't think so. So see, here's another funny space. They've turned it into a little display of some sort. Gosh, this thing just keeps going. Here's a nice little shelf that they made. 2x4s and exile floors. Washer dryer. It's just Orin floors. And they even have another one set in here. That's the edge of a floor, I think, for the little handle. A porthole window for that part. 2 of cups for the switches, and then they got a detonator, a couple of those here. Look at the clothes hamper. It's just mattresses with 2x4s on the corners of that. Another faux door kind of thing. Just flat metal table with a tank. Okay, let me see. Make sure we get all this. Go this way. Little TV nook. 2 pillows for this little couch thing. Notice they got the pop machines inset here into the wall. See, again, just a little touch of color shifting. You got a different color backpack there. Really fancy drink dispenser here. Pillars, and then of course the clunky like tanks. Garden hose for this, and I think those are vent tanks as well. Again, odd space, you don't know what to do with it, you don't want to put more shelves in, something like this is perfect. And it keeps, you know, it looking like a little greenery. Here's another little kitchen. I guess this is the fridge. It's exile wall, no, Orin walls, and then same for these parts. It's just the edge of it that's showing up. It looks like one giant travel poster for this gray metal part, and then a detonator for like the freezer top, and then the handles are the vintage beer mugs. Easily could put some plants or things up here. This is the actual kitchen sink, but it's been boxed in with exile floors and 2x4s to just kind of beef it up a little bit and add some extra features like the cabinets here. Those are flat metal tables. The cabinets above are mostly Orin floors with staircase landings and bottle tops for the handles. The microwave is one of the metal crates with the tablet computer, and then a magnetized container on the side. I guess this is the oven, or maybe it's a dishwasher. I don't know. It's several detonators here and here, and then you've got the airtight container as the bottom. The faux door is a travel poster. I guess it's supposed to be another drink dispenser. It's actually one of the, I think it's the Dreg windmill thingy. It probably makes some noise. Again, staircase landings for all of these cabinets, using bottle tops for the handles on most of them, except here they're using the vintage beer mugs again. I guess this is the wine cellar slash pantry area. These here, that's just the portable pod planter thingies. I don't know what they're called. Just multiples of them, and they boxed it in with 2x4 pillars to make it look a little cleaner. So you got your little herb stash here, so you get some fresh herbs for your cooking. So you can see just how much they were able to squeeze into this space. Here's some like uh, beer kegs, basically the what's it called? The feeding troughs. Then they've got some cylinders or domes, and then the tanks inside. Dining table is just 2x4s mostly. And then they've added some little accents for the legs, so you got the Hugel portrait on the side. Using the rugs as placemats for the table setting. Over here you got a nice small little wine rack thing. It's just the dividers and then 2x4s latticed in between there. We've seen some bars where it's got like a whole bit all the way behind the bar itself. Here's a lovely little pizza box with a pizza cutter. They're using cheese, and then it looks like I'm not sure what they're using for the crust, to be honest. I want to say it's some kind of stone bit, but I really don't know. The pepperoni on this one is the stools, and then of course it's a plate and a utensil handle for the pizza cutter. But the box I think is pretty fun because we typically don't have a lot of boxes. Hey Jim, glad you could make it. Although we're about to wrap things up. But the box itself is just 2x4s trimmed with, or as trim for the Oran floors. A cute little pizza box bit there. These little cabinet areas or countertops, it's just the bars. And they filled this one in with flowers to kind of just make it a little different. Again, using the Chua pillows as cushions. Or in Windows as decorations. Notice they color shifted this one, I think. And then it looks like the tea set. I don't know if that comes from, I don't know if it was the spring decor pack that comes in. Can't remember. But they added their own little saucers using the plates for that. And I guess this is the tea maker. Again, a number of pieces here. You got the Chua tank, you got a wall-mounted generator, you got tube pieces, cylinder pieces, dome pieces. But just think of all the rooms we've been in, and that's just the interior, not counting all the stuff they did on the outside. So it's pretty amazing what all they were able to fit in here comfortably. Trying to find my way back to the front. Uh, yeah, here we go. So it's like you go up and then down and then back up. It's well, that's good to hear, Jim. I know a lot of people have been taking breaks. I think those that are kind of expectant of the community system are kind of holding back now because I think folks have found out that it might not be so easy to convert an existing plot to fit the community setup that's coming. And I think a lot of them are wanting to wait until they see how that gets worked out, because um, I guess in the PTR version there was a lot of like bleed over and problems with things counting the way they should and shouldn't, and not to mention the costs and things. So I think we'll probably know a little bit more about how that's going to go once the next version of it comes out on the PTR. I don't know if that's up yet, but yeah, I think a lot of people are kind of curious as to how that's going to work and aren't wanting to build anything super elaborate at the moment, because they don't want to have to redo it all once the other comes out, if it actually affects things as they suspect it will. So yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are taking breaks. I myself have had to take a break, but that's mostly because I just haven't had time uh, to play, let alone build. So I don't know where I'm going. I'm just kind of revisiting. I don't want to end it on a nice overall shot, and it's kind of hard to find a good spot. I guess this would be good. So yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. Apologies again for those of you that would have preferred to join from the get-go, but I did have to start a little bit early just because it's so warm here, and the heat just kind of collects in the upstairs room where I'm at, and it becomes overly uncomfortable after a while, and I wanted to get started early to kind of help avoid a lot of that. Um, I'm hoping that by the end of the week, the temperatures will have gone back down, so we won't have that problem in the future. But if it happens, I will again try to give you a little bit of notice. I sent out an extra tweet this morning to kind of give some of you a heads up that I was going to be starting early, but again, it just depends on if you happen to be watching it or not. But yeah, again, reminder about the maintenance coming up in a little while. Starts at 4 a.m. PDT, 1 p.m. CEST time. It's only supposed to last an hour, so you know, a good time to take a break, grab a sandwich or something. Also, we're coming up on the last week of the Starfall event for this month, and it will be kicking off with the Double XP Explosion event this weekend. So you want to be sure and take advantage of that. Excuse me. If nothing else, at least log in sometime between the before the end of the month to get your little goodie pack for this coming week. I think it's the one with the disco ball and a couple other things. So be sure and check that out. I think that's it, guys. So again, much appreciated for those of you that joined. I hope you found some bits and pieces that maybe spur some ideas. Even if you don't plan on building anything extravagant right now, if you're anything like me, I keep a notebook handy with jotted down ideas. Not only about themes that I might want to tackle, but also if I can think of things that I might want to use for certain aspects of it, like the sandbags for the dirt here, which I really love, this part here. Um, Things like that. If you know you're wanting to do a beach scene, how are you going to approach the beach? You're going to make it out of actual brown sand with like uh, using upside down snowy hills, or you're going to do something like this. This looks almost like stone, but it's just the sandbag. So, you know, jotting down like actual decor pieces you might want to use, that kind of thing, or even jotting down plots that you've come across that have ideas that you would like to kind of build upon. Jot those names down so you remember what plots to visit, because I come across a lot of folks that remember certain aspects of houses that they've been to or have seen but can't remember what it was, and they want to look at it again, but they have trouble returning to it because they can't remember the name of it or anything. So jot all of that information down. Even if you don't plan to build something right now, it's always good to plan ahead and keep those ideas rolling around for when the time comes that you do feel inspired enough or ready enough to start a new project. So again, this was Montan Darktail Manor. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of great ideas, not only for faux structures, but just the uses of some of the items for staircases and cabinetry and uh, just everything. It's a really great plot to come and visit if you get a chance. Okay, so I think that's it for this week. Again, we do this every Wednesday, typically. So if you can join us, be sure and do that. Next week, we'll be hitting Jabbit EU side. Again, I'm open to suggestions. If you know of a plot that we have yet to have visited on either faction, either region, feel free to drop me a line. I'm happy to jot those down, and eventually I will try and get to them. I can't promise when or whatever. It just depends on everything that's going on and my mood and which ones I hit first. But I will eventually get to them all, hopefully. So yeah, keep those suggestions coming. In the meantime, have a great day, have a wonderful week. If you're experiencing the heat wave like we are here, I hope you guys stay nice and cool. Hope everyone stays in good health. And good luck with any projects you happen to be working on or anything else besides that. So till then, have a great time, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.